Today's vehicle breakdown is my 2018 Jeep JL. This was one of the first JLs that was kind of on the market. I'm excited about this build. I absolutely love this Jeep. It is by far the best Jeep I've ever owned, and everything we've done to it has been amazing as far as the capabilities on the road and off the road. So first things first, we did a topo wrap. So it's flat black, everything is topo. You know, our whole thing is off the grid. So first thing you see is the topo. And then as far as starting in the front, we did the CRC front bumper. We have CRC rock rails and a CRC rear bumper that we did some modifications to be able to hold a spare tire, a true 40-inch spare tire. And we have a mount for my sat dome and all my race stuff. So when we go to Baja, I have everything to chase and to pre-run. So moving back, it has a Baja Designs 10-inch laser light in the front. It's got two Baja Design spotlights that we use for side markers. And then on the front suspension, we do a Currie VXR 60 front and a Currie 70 rear. We ran 8-lug on this with the big brakes. Fox made me my own custom 3.0, basically Ford Raptor coilovers for all four corners. So 10 inches of travel, and which is all you need, and it cycles perfectly. But we did some work on the inside to get the zones correct, so it really has a nice ride at ride height. And then going cycling through the travel, it has a very firm bump zone with another zone in the middle that just helps catch it at the bottom. So in Baja, flying down the roads, this thing really works amazing. I've never been in a Jeep, even with Jeeps with bypasses and coilovers and air bumps, I can drive around them in this thing. It really, truly does work amazing. So 10 inches of travel in the front, 10 inches of travel in the rear. It does have the Rock Jock sway bars, the Rock Jock steering. We just put on the PSE Ram Assist kit with their new box. It removes the electric power steering and it goes back to a conventional power steering. So the box has, you know, oil flowing through it now versus it being all electric. So it works good. We went to Moab with it, no problems at all. We're running the KMC wheels and the 40-inch Nitto tires. No bead locks. For the stuff I do, I absolutely love the style of these wheels. So I wanted these wheels on the Jeep. And for what we do, I never go under APSI and haven't lost a tire yet because of debeating. So moving back, we ran our CRC carbon fiber fenders. Wanted to do something a little different, so we did them out of carbon fiber. They're truly are carbon fiber. So they're really, really light and also strong. So it works out really well. Then the inside on this Jeep, besides the S-Pod, is bone stock. So everything is about comfort. I do a lot of traveling with friends and my guys and my family. So window tint, and then that's it, bone stock. It's got the S-Pod controller so we can control the lockers and the lights. Rather than that, I mean, it's just stock. So all leather and the comforts of the stock vehicle. To the back, once again, carbon fiber fenders. And another thing in the back that we've done is this is running the CRC long arm kit. We've done a lot of homework on the long arm kit to not only just make the long arm kit work, but the angles of the arms are all controlled to give us anti-squat where we want it and dive where we want it. So there's 3 settings on a Currie housing. All 3 of those settings will go from basically the lowest is more of our high speed setting. We took the measurements off of one of my King of the Hammers cars that we really liked the way it feels in the desert. And we did all the suspension programming on the computer and figured out exactly what the anti-squat was, and we duplicated it. So in the back, we can get the same anti-squat that my Hammers car, and then the top hole is 10% more than a JL. So what we did was we went more extreme than what a Jeep is to more what a race car is in the bottom hole. So it's actually true measurements of getting the correct anti-squat, getting us the most comfort for high speed desert runs, and then moving the hole to give us that rock crawl, aggressive. We want as much forward bite as we can. So we really did do the homework on that. So our long arm kit is very unique in that we've studied everything. It does run aluminum arms top and bottom, and we did everything in a way that we don't have to do any bent arms. So all the bent arms, how we look at it, a bent arm is a bent arm. So if you're starting with something bent, it can only bend more. So everything is straight. In the rear, it's a Rock Jock 70 rear end. The difference is what we did on the rear end, we came up with our own bracketry. So we did a high ground clearance, lower controller mount, and by doing that, we raised the coilover. By not cutting and doing something totally off the market, we made a kit that'll actually raise the coilover up 3 inches. So even if a guy wanted this suspension, they can go and raise their shock 3 inches and get 2.5 inches of ground clearance more on the back. So pretty cool. We really trust in the back housing, protecting the lower controller mounts, putting a skid plate on there, which works really nice. So long arm suspension, front and rear, really focused on anti-squat and squat capability of running aluminum arms or steel arms that are straight. The housings are 7 inches wide front and back. They'll tuck a 40 all the way up without rubbing on anything bad. And then around that, this is our custom tire carrier that we integrated into our CRC bumper. So same bumper, we just threw in some reinforcements, and then what we did, we made it so basically in Baja, we don't get any clunks or clacks or rattling. Most bumpers, or actually all bumpers that we've seen, are either way overkill because they make the bumper out of too thick material. So this runs our standard material. What we did, we just reinforced this side of the bumper to hold the weight, and then on this side we reinforced just where the tire clamps onto. Everything else is still light, and we didn't have to add any weight. So this has our CRC delete kit with the camera that's still in the stock location, so everything looks the same. Obviously if you had a license plate, still bolt on, but yeah, around that, the tailgate opens up all the way and no issues with having to hit the rear tire. So these two mounts right here will swing up, and that's where the sat radio and then the sat dome mount goes. We just have it off. In Moab, we didn't, just in case I flipped it in Moab, I didn't want to have any of that stuff up. So we just made one for the radio mount. So you can see all my mounts for all the racing stuff in Baja still there. So the tire carrier locks, so that way your kids can't swing it open and dent the car, but it just unlocks and yeah, it shuts back and seals tight. So our big thing was nothing can rattle. So for us, no rattles, no clunks, no nothing. So put the license plate on the back. We put a second camera back here, so that way all we have to do is disconnect it and put it back. So if I want to go on a trip that we know we don't want a spare tire, I'll just take everything off and put it all back in the stock way. So did that on purpose to make it as easy as possible. Rather than that, this Jeep, the coilovers have high speed and low speed adjustments, so super radical to tune. Fox does have a new 3.0 shock coming out for the JL that basically is very similar on the inside, just not the coilover. So the ride, I've already done some testing with it. The ride is phenomenal, even with the new 3.0s that they have coming out for the JL. So if you want something like this, it's definitely coming in a non-coilover version, so you'll like it. So rather than that, we run ARB air compressor. We'll go into the hood. ARB air compressor, and we run ARB lockers front and rear. It's the simplicity of lockers. We did everything to be as simple as can. So ARB is up underneath, S-Pod is mounted next to the batteries, and then you can see the PSC cooling. We have a cooler on the front, and then the aftermarket reservoir being here for the ram assist. So rather than that, we run everything else stock. We like it clean and simple. Jeep did a great job on this Jeep. So rather than that, we're gonna build a roof rack for it for Rubicon Trail this year, so I can do my ARB rooftop tent. So you'll see that coming soon. Oh, another cool little feature, I did Baja Designs blinkers. So because I eliminated the bottom half of the fender to get the ground clearance without having to go to a Rubicon fender, I don't like the looks of the Rubicon fenders, we did the Baja Designs lights. So around that, we'll be doing some more upgrades to this thing this summer, more for overlanding. But around that, this thing is a beast.
I'm Casey Currie. Thank you for watching. Now, comment below, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. Subscribe right here, watch more videos here. Thank you guys.